Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you who have been with us since the beginning, those of you that have been with us even here and there's about, and those of you who have just subscribed, as well as those of you who are contemplating subscription. You're walking with Mr. Clay. I am Mr. Clay, and we're in the Isaiah chapter 18. Yes, Isaiah chapter 18. And we thank God for you, and we just give God the praise for what is going on in the earth, how the Most High is starting to align the powers that be to the point of the will of the Most High in order for the redemption of those who are anointed to be brought to pass. Isaiah chapter 18. But first let us read or say the prayer of Abraham. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed over the thoughts of men's hearts. And let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. That can be found in Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, I'm going to read from the American, or should I say the Good News Bible, because the Old English is kind of ambiguous in how it explains this particular chapter. But it will go like this. I have it on my stand next to me. Beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, there is a land where the sound of wings is heard. Now you have in the King James Version, woe to the land shadowing with wings, which is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Okay, now he says, verse 2, from that land ambassadors come down the Nile in boats made of reeds. Yes, that sendeth ambassadors by the sea, even in vessels of bulrushes upon the water, saying, go ye swift messengers to a nation scattered and peeled. Now this is what the Good News Bible would say. From that land ambassadors come down the Nile in boats made of reeds. Go back home. Swift messengers. He says that with an exclamation point. As far as the translation here. He says, saying, go ye swift messengers to a nation scattered and peeled, to a people terrible in their beginning. But here he says, go back home, swift messengers. Take a message back to your land divided by waters. He's talking to Ethiopia, to your strong and powerful nation, to your tall and smooth-skinned people. This is peeled, who are feared over all over the world. This was Ethiopia, or Cush, Aksum, a very powerful nation of people during that time. Yes, there are more historical accounts of this we shall read in the prophets. He says, go terrible from their beginning hitherto, a nation meted out, trodden down, whose land the rivers have spoiled. Yes, now we're going to go to verse 3. He says, now, all ye inhabitants of the world and dwellers on the earth, see ye when he lifted up an ensign on the mountains, and when he bloweth the trumpet, hear ye. The same thing here in the Good News Bible. It says, listen, everyone who lives on earth, look for a signal flag. That's what it means by an ensign. This is Old English we're dealing with. Look for an ensign, a signal flag, to be raised on the tops of the mountains. Listen for the blowing of the bugle or the horn. The trumpet, says the King James in the Old English. The I am have said unto me, I will look down from heaven as quietly as the dew forms in the warm nights of harvest time, as serenely as the sunshine in the heat of the day. Now again, he says, now the I am says, this is the King James Version, unto me, I will take my rest, and I will consider my dwelling place like a clear heat upon the herbs, and the cloud like a cloud of the dew in the heat of harvest. And he says this here too. He says, In verse 4, the I am said unto me, I will look down from heaven. Okay, we say that right. Quietly, but this one here says, I will take my rest. Apparently this here's went back and made it understandable in our today's language. Now they're saying the same thing, but it's making more sense here for us that speak modern English. He says, I will look down from heaven as quietly as the dew forms in the warm nights of harvest time, as serenely, and as the sun shine in the heat of the harvest day before the grapes are gathered, when the blossoms have fallen and the grapes are ripening. The enemy will destroy the Ethiopians as easily as a knife cut branches from a vine. This is what he's saying here. Now you go back to the King James Version in verse 5. He says, now, for the harvest, when the bud is perfect and the sour grape is ripening in the flower, he shall both cut off the sprigs with pruning hooks and take away and cut down the branches. But here he says they distinctly shows the subject of this thought here. The Ethiopians, the Cushites. Yes. He says, now, the enemy will destroy the Ethiopians as easy as a knife cuts branches from a vine. This is what he's saying. Now, verse 6, he says, they shall be left together unto the fowls of the mountains, to the beasts of the earth, and the fowls shall summer upon them, and all the beasts of the earth shall winter upon them. Yes, this was verse 6, or should I say, 6. Here we go again. It says, the corpses of their bodies. You notice that he says they shall be left together unto the fowls, but here he says the corpses of their soldiers will be left exposed. Now in the Old English, they shall be left together unto the fowls of the mountain and to the beasts of the earth, and the fowls shall summer upon them. And in the Good News Bible, it says the corpses of their soldiers will be exposed to the birds and the wild animals. In the summer, the birds will feed on them, and in the winter, the animals. This is what it's saying, really. He says that shall summer upon them, in verse 6 of the King James, and all the beasts of the earth shall winter upon them. In other words, they're going to eat them in the winter and the summer. Verse 7, King James Version. In that time shall the presence be brought unto the I am of hosts, a people scattered and peeled, from a people terrible from their beginning hitherto, a nation meted out and trodden under foot, whose land the rivers have spoiled, to the place of the name of the I am of hosts, the Mount Zion. The same thing in the Good News Bible. A time coming when the I am Almighty will receive offerings from this land, from Ethiopia, is what he's saying. Didn't say nothing about no Jesus. It says I will receive offering from this land by the rivers. And this strong and powerful nation, this tall and smooth skinned people, the Ethiopians, tall and smooth skinned, they didn't grow beards for some reason. They were not hairy, who are feared over all the world. Even today, this type of a people are feared. Fearsome. Yes. And he says, they will come out to Mount Zion. They will come to Mount Zion, where the Almighty, even the I am, the Almighty, is worshipped. And the King James Version put it again. He says, they shall be brought into the I am of hosts, a people scattered and peeled, and from a people terrible from their beginning hitherto, a nation meted out and trodden under foot, whose land the rivers have spoiled, to the place, to the name of the I am. In other words, they're going to give offerings. They're going to give praise and worship, because there is no nation even to this day that can defeat the I am. And those that would put their trust in the I am through obedience of the I am's, should I say, laws, statutes, and ordinances. Yes. The I am is not just going to give you out victory because you ask, or because you figure you are smooth and you're strong, because the Most High takes those things and he confounds these people. Yes. And they're going to be the ones even here, he says, during this time that's going to come and worship the I am. Now, how did this come about? This was the time of the Persians. Still talking about Persian conquest. You have to realize the Persian was like a cloud upon the land. They were like a wave that overshadowed the lands of the known world that this describes. Even the Ethiopians were so swayed by the conquest of the Persians that they even came and made an offering unto the I am. See, some say that, hey, the Ethiopians, they say, well, we found this in Ethiopia and we did this. Well, the Ethiopians were converted unto, before Christianity came, they were converted unto the way of the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Even the children of Jacob, the laws that were handed to Moses to give to the children of Jacob, that they might be an example unto all the world. So we have to realize that God did a great thing. He has really blessed Cyrus. Cyrus defeated the 300, the Danites, that were at the, should I say, the gates, what they call on the 300, these gates that they, or a choke point, that the Most High has put in the minds of these dark-skinned Danites who were of Greece. They were Grecian. They had Greece, or should I say, Grecian citizenship, but they were known as the 300 in most of our circles. Yes, the 300 that had resisted the king of Persia, whom the Most High has used to perform. This is the conquest of the king of Persia, was called the day of the I am. Read it. And this king, the Most High, dealt with him in a dream. You read in the book of Esther, to deal with the people of, should I say, Judah, to allow them to go back and worship before their God. And it was amazing how the Most High dealt with these people's heart. The one that's smooth skin over the sea, how he dealt with all the people's hearts to say, hey, the I am is powerful, and that the I am even swayed it. The most powerful king upon the known earth at that time. No, it's not going to be U.S. or nothing like that. The Most High is going to take over what the Most High has created in these latter days, and not through no Isis. No. The book of Enoch sets it out plain. The Most High will come with thousands of the Most High's anointed, which is called Christ or saints. A man cannot give you sainthood or anointed. Cannot anoint you. He can anoint you to this finite world to consider office here, but only the I am can anoint you with the Spirit, or part of the I am, to empower you to do the job that the Most High have called you to do. There's no Holy Ghost. There's only one Spirit, one God, one Creator. There's only one. Yet this one creates many spirits to do the bidding that this one would command these spirits to do. And we have to understand the spirituality. Even the evil spirits do the bidding of the Most High. The ones who have backslidden, who have been like the hog who been cleaned up and washed up and went back to his vomit. Even they have to obey the Most High. As we see in the book of Job, where this entity, this one Satan, this evil spirit came, and the Most High was so confident about Job, he knew. It wasn't the fact, the Most High wasn't concerned about Job's flesh, because the Most High can regenerate, the Most High can heal, he can renew, he can cause things to be made whole. Yes, he says, see and know I am he, besides me there is no other God, there is no other entity, there is no Jesus, there is no Muhammad, there is no body, no Buddha, no none of these names that you have come up with gods for. No Yahushai. I don't have a son. The Most High don't have a son. Not I, but I'm talking about the Most High. Does not have a son. Neither does the Most High have a need to copulate with his own creation. Why wouldn't he do it with a lion or a baboon or a monkey or a gorilla? But yet a human, a female human, whom he has made from Adam, the rib of Adam. And then some of you, in your ignorance, you come and you say, well, why men are not missing a rib? That is the most uninformed, unscrupulous thing a person can say. The Most High took the rib from Adam. He didn't take it after Adam buried after his kind, for that DNA and all that restored. Everything was intact as the Most High originally did. But he made Eve from that rib. Adam did not have that rib. Adam lived the longest living man upon the earth, according to the book of Jasher. Yes, the longest living. Adam had to suffer to see the era of his folly. It doesn't say much about Eve, but you notice how the devils, the Satans, use this Eve. They never talk about Adam. How come you haven't discovered Adam? With this, you say, black woman that you've discovered, but yet you never discovered, oh, she had the babies by herself. What is wrong with you? A woman cannot have a baby without a man. No, she cannot. And if she would have it with a beast, it would be most hideous if the Most High should allow it. We have to be careful on what we understand and what we think is sensible when it is very foolish and blasphemous. But if we keep those things that are right, even commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws of the Most High, we will have